Hello guys, this is Wunderbit Trading and we're carrying on with our weekly Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis. This video, however, was recorded on Saturday the 24th of August, and the reason behind that is that we're currently experiencing a very strong sell on the market based on Binance Exchange, not only across Bitcoin but across the altcoins as well. What else we're going to talk about in this video is the short and medium term tool for Bitcoin investment. And this will be related with the theory of Bob Lucas and his 4 years Bitcoin cycle. So let's switch to the graph straight away. What you can see basically is that we're currently in a very red zone, and for the past couple of hours there was a very strong downward move. To see that, we're gonna go to the very small time frames, like 15 minutes, for example, over here on Bitcoin, and this is the Binance Exchange. And you can see as soon as we broke the 10,240.50 level, there was a very strong move downwards, a little bit of a consolidation, and then another even stronger move below the 10,000 support level, which is actually quite crucial. We see if the daily can hold below the 10,000, and this will be very, very important. If it does, there is a strong opportunity that the Bitcoin price will start breakout of the consolidation triangle that we saw on a larger time frame. So go into the daily chart, you can see that if the volume will be higher than the previous bars and will close below the 10,000 or even 9,700, for example, this will be a very good signal to sell Bitcoin. What we might see if the price and the day will close like this, we should see a small retracement back, rechecking this as a resistance and then going down. Maybe to the 9 level first. I'm not suggesting that we're gonna close the BTC future gaps, which is still holding there, but this is one scenario. Another scenario, which is also possible right now, and we saw it several times, is that by the end of the day, the bulls will buy back the certain amount, we will stay above the 10,000, and then we'll carry on our movement at least for a short term in the upper side of Bitcoin price chart. So somewhere around 10,650 there will be a strong resistance there based on the level, based on the middle of the triangle, and at the same time as we're using a trading chaos approach based on the balance line of the alligator indicator. So those are the two scenarios where Bitcoin can go. Let's quickly switch to Ethereum and we'll see what's happening right now in Ethereum. The price is still above the trend line, which is good. There is a stronger buyback based on the smaller time frames, like 15 minutes one. So you can see that there wasn't a huge move downward over here, and the buyback was much more in comparison to the Bitcoin price. The reason behind that may be that some of the coins, some of the Bitcoins are actually not transferred to USD or USDT pairs, but they're actually transferred to Ethereum or any other altcoins, for example. And this may be one of the reasons what can happen to the Bitcoin and Ethereum, how they can be interlinked. Let's actually check this and look at Ethereum BTC price chart based on Binance Exchange as well. And you can actually see it, that based on the current actually 4-hour candlestick, the price of Ethereum in relation to Bitcoin is actually going up, which is a good sign based on the fact that if you believe in the altcoin season, which is supposed to come soon, or maybe you're not a fan of it, there is a good evidence suggesting that some of the Bitcoins are going not out of the market, but they're converted into altcoins like Ethereum, which is the top one. So this is it with the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin for now. Let's quickly switch to the historical data, which we found on Bitstamp. This is because the Bitstamp has the longest time frame. Let's switch to the weekly chart, and I will just remove all the indicators and switch off on the logarithmic scale. So this is what we have. This is the Bitcoin price movement against the US dollar starting from 2011. And what you can see in front of you in green and red is a 4-year Bitcoin cycle by Bob Lucas. He's a very good economist. If you haven't seen his theory about the 4-year Bitcoin cycle, just visit his YouTube channel and you'll get a snap of it very quickly. So the green areas are those where the bulls are in control. So we have 3 years of rising market and then 1 year of retracement back or bearish market, and this is a complete 4-year cycle. And for now we had 2 of those cycles based on this theory. The one started in 2011 and finished in 2014, and the next one started in 2015, finished in 2018. So the previous year, you all know this, was quite bearish. And now we are in the beginning of the new 4-year cycle based on this theory. So the crucial things how we modify this is that we recalculated the logarithmic Fibonacci retracement, and we did that from the beginning of the cycle to the top of the cycle. And based on that, you can clearly see that throughout 2018 we were touching several times, and this was acting as a support, the level of 0.23 of logarithmic Fibonacci retracement. After we broke that, we dropped dramatically and heavily towards the 0.38 Fibonacci retracement. And again, this is a logarithmic scale. And we found the bottom there, and the market started to going up. What else we suggest to add to this chart to make this as a tool for the short-term and mid-term Bitcoin investment opportunity is the simple moving average. But this will be a moving average with a period of 20. The reason behind that is this is what most traders are actually using. So if you would like to follow most of the market, this indicator is good enough, and this is quite simple. To make it more complicated, you can do the exponential moving average ribbon. So those will be several exponential moving averages accumulated and shown as a ribbon on this graph. But the most important thing that we would like to show you is that look how nicely this simple 20 MA was acting as a support or resistance during either the bulls or bear market. So let's start with this bull market in 2015. So we were below the 20 moving average. As soon as we broke it, we retested it again, and then we start our rise for the bull market. And all the time when the price was touching the 20 MA here on a weekly chart, it was acting as a support up to the point when it was broken in 2018, in January 2018. After that, we retested it as a new resistance, and it was acting as a resistance throughout the whole time up to the point when we broke it in April 2019. So now what we can assume is that we are in the bull market based on this cyclical theory. We're in a very strong bull market based on the Fibonacci retracement, because if it goes towards the 0.38 and then go up, this is a very strong bull market. And we are currently, in the past 2 months, we are in a short retracement to touch for the first time the moving average. And this will be quite a good and optimal point to enter the long-term investment. However, let's consider the other scenario, and the other scenario is that what if we're gonna not just touch it, but break it down, and then we can be in a horizontal channel for some time. The reason behind that is that based on the historical data, it takes around 2 years for the bull market to reach the previous high. So this is the previous high, and this point is 2 years starting from the beginning of the cycle in 2015 to reach the previous high. If we assume the same rate of acceleration, we should expect the price to be around 20,000 in December 2020, which means that it's either going to go very slowly up or it will stay there as in a horizontal channel, something like this, and then we'll start seeing it going higher and higher towards this point. So those are the two scenarios. What else is possible is that the speed of this acceleration can be higher than in the previous cycle. This is also possible, taking into consideration that more people know about this, more people trade Bitcoin, more people invest in Bitcoin. So it is plausible. Also taking into the account that quite a lot of people talking about the upcoming financial crisis and Bitcoin as the alternative, as a new gold. And you know, during the recession times on the markets, the investors usually switch to some diversified asset like gold, for example. So those are our thoughts on how you can use this theory, and at the same time a couple of our own tools that we added over here to make a decision on the investment into Bitcoin. So stay tuned to our channel, subscribe to our Telegram channel to receive a daily reviews of Bitcoin and Ethereum price, and best of luck with your trading.